Another garden update. As you can see, the Hungarian hot wax peppers are just doing fantastic. I told you previously I had to cut a bunch of my Golden Cal sweet peppers off because they had rot spots on them. After I did a little bit of research, I probably could have eaten them if I just cut the rot spot out. I don't believe that it was caused by any bug infestation. I'm not really sure what caused it. But I have a few more starting to grow again, so hopefully I'll get some sweet peppers out of this before it's over. My onions are doing well. A couple of them are bulbing up really nice. I got a few more weeks to go with those. My carrots have thinned out. I'm not really sure why. They're getting a little bit bigger, and the tops are kind of dying back and thinning out, and they're not quite as green as they were. I've taken care of them the same. I don't know if it's too much sun and not enough water, or if that's just what carrots do. I have to do some research on that. The Husky Red cherry tomato plant that the kids like, it's already starting to load up with little cherry tomatoes, so the kids can't wait to pick those. The early girl that I ended up with, that's starting to get some tomatoes on it as well. My brandywines are just growing out of control. All of them are way above the tops of their cages. I'll show you here in a minute what I had to do for a couple of them. The peaches and cream sweet corn that I planted in my bean patch, they sprouted. So I doubt very seriously I'll get any corn that's worth anything out of them since I planted it so late. I planted them, it was right before the 4th of July, so it was a very late plant, but we'll see. I just did it to see if I could make it work. The beans are doing well. They're white half runners. Everybody from down south is familiar with those. They don't run too terribly much. It's making its way up my fence a little bit, but they don't take up too much space. Starting to get some more cucumbers, but I have my leaves on a couple of the plants are pretty yellow right now, and I don't know if it's too much water or not enough nitrogen. I fertilized it a couple days ago, and I'm going to kind of let it I backed off on the watering a bit. It was getting watered every day. It was on an automatic timer, and I turned it off, so we'll see. But it's the cucumber delicatesse. Everything I grow is heirloom with the exception of a couple of those tomato plants over there. So, and these are from the rareseeds.com, the Baker Creek Seed Company. But so those are looking good. My lima beans, you can see, are just now starting to get little beans on them all over the place. So hopefully before too long I'll be able to start getting some beans off of them. I gave one of my pepper plants away that was in one of these small pots. I didn't feel like dealing with it, and my cousin came over and I gave him one of the pepper plants. But you can see my brandywines are just loaded down with tomatoes, which is good. But the problem is a couple of them have gotten so tall that I had to beat 10-foot long, half-inch conduit in the ground. It was the only thing that I could come up with that was reasonable in price. You can get the conduit for $2.15 or something a section. And so now I'm starting to tie it up. I'm slowly working this one over towards the middle. Every bit of this plant every branch it comes off is well over 6 foot already, and I still have another over a month to grow. My radishes for my seeds that I'm saving, I'm waiting on all my pods to grow out. I did all my research. I read that actual portion of Seed to Seed, and I was doing it correctly. It's loaded with pods. I actually still fertilize this. I don't know if I should or not, but I kind of figure that the more nutrition that goes to the seed pod, the better. So I put a little fish emulsion down in there and keep it watered up, and I'm just going to let them kind of do their thing, and when they dry out, then I'll harvest them. But so far so good. Everything's looking well. I have my tomatoes are doing well. I have a couple that have just a few bad leaves on them, and I'm not sure what that's about. I keep them trimmed up from the bottom. I try to avoid the blight by keeping my lower branches trimmed up away from the ground, and I always keep here it's lava rock or some type of mulch so that the dirt doesn't splash up on the leaves. And I've read that helped. There's a ripe pepper I'll be able to pick. I saved my seeds from the last couple that I picked. They were fantastic. Actually, a little bit hotter than I figured they would be. It's the first time I've ever grown Hungarian hot wax peppers. But I saved them. 2 peppers I put them in a salad, and I was able to get about 50 or so seeds out of those 2 peppers for next year. I'll give some away and grow some next year. So that's about it. I'll see everyone in about another week or so. Till then, everything's doing well.